So I'm Corinne Merly, Senior Research and Development Project Manager, working for the French Geological Survey, the BRGM. And within CASRI, I am co-leading the development of the Strategic Research and Innovation Agenda. So before addressing this question on prioritization and definition of key research and innovation needs, I think it's just important to give you some insight about the background of CASRI Strategic Research and Innovation Agenda. Why CASRI is developing an SRIA, and for who and by who. So to start, it is important to recall that European research on sustainability needs to deal both with novel R&D priorities, such as competitiveness, security, and digitalization, and also traditional priorities like climate, biodiversity, and pollution. And in this context, the EPAs around Europe call for a strategic research agenda which shall address both like these novel priorities and these traditional priorities. So the SRA is really built on the initiative of the EPA and is co-designed by the EPA, the organization alike, and all national R&D key actors in the sustainability field. So the way the SRA is built and constructed and define prioritize key R&I needs is very much done around the co-design process. So the co-design process is at its very beginning, and it includes 3 main steps that I'm going to describe now, and which enables you to understand how the themes and the subject are developed. So first, the SRA co-design steps, the first step consists for the SRA co-designer to express their views and interests about 20 R&D topics elaborated by the CASRI project. So these 20 topics do not come from nowhere. They are really starting points of the SRA co-design and results from transnational priority identified from 600 knowledge needs which were collected earlier on in the project from the key national stakeholder. So from this first step, that's the selection of the CASRI topics which are the most relevant for potential end users are set. And this is the first prioritization for the topics. The second step consists in elaborating content of the topic which raised the most interest, so the topics which emerge from the first steps. And this will be done through an online workshop, which will be run on the 2nd of December, gathering many national R&D program managers and funders. And this elaboration will enable, again, to define more precisely the content of the topics. And at least the first step of the co-design is really the matchmaking between the SRA topics and the funding opportunities. And thus, this shall give really insights on the topic and question which raise the most interest for funders and which are high of the list. So the matchmaking process within CASRI consists really in trying to match the CASRI topics with the funding opportunities. And the process itself really enable to identify and analyze complementarities and gaps within the topics. So I will describe now how the matchmaking process is occurring. It's planned to be run into 3 means so far. So the first mean is like a mean which will be done internally within CASRI, and it consists in trying to matchmake like existing national European funding scheme and promising funding scheme with the CASRI topic. And that is done through the CASRI team. So the good thing is that so far we've been collected many national existing and promising funding scheme, European funding scheme, through all the interviews which had been done previously within the project. So the idea really is to connect these funding schemes with the theme of CASRI and to see which funding scheme which CASRI theme it addresses, and therefore which topics it can address as well. The second mean is really to interact, to engage with the key national R&D actors on sustainability and to ask them directly how their funding scheme, national funding scheme, are covering the 20 CASRI topics. So this is an exercise which is currently ongoing and which will really enable us to get more precise on how CASRI topics are currently covered or not within existing funding schemes. And the last step is really to organize like a workshop at the beginning of next year in order to interact with funders, so European and national funders on special topics, and to see how and if they could fund the CASRI topics, and that really gives us the European dimension of this matching as well. As you can see, and as I just said, the R&D actors in the field of sustainability, and those actors, many of them are funders, are strongly involved along the SRA co-design process and matching. So therefore, they are involved from the beginning to the end. They are actors of the process. And we really are using their expertise to make a useful and actionable strategic research agenda content and to prioritize subjects which are the most of interest for them. So by focusing on the elaboration of the topics of transnational interest, that is to say interest among several countries, we will really promote collaboration between national funders coming from several EU countries during the co-design phase. Moreover, we wish to gather all relevant European and national funders in Paris on the 29th and on the 30th of January 2026 for a matching event between CASRI RA topics question and funding opportunities. We hope that this will foster collaboration among European funders and among European funders and national funders. So that's really a step for us to gather all potential funders and to make them talk to each other. We wish to take the opportunity in this interview to call for research and development funders which have particular interest on sustainability issue. You are, if you are one of them, the most welcome to take part in the Paris workshop, which will be held on the 29th and the 30th of January 2026. Thank you.